What is the secret to a successful business? In this video, we're going to talk about what it takes to succeed in business. And I'll be focusing on the power of perseverance. But before that, I want to firstly start on a question that I always get in my DMs. And it's always around, hey, I'm trying to start a business. What do I do? Or I've got an idea. What do I do? How do I start? What do I need to do? And before going into what it really takes and the principles for a successful business, I just want to start on this and just give you guys my top principles when starting off, and just to sort of give you that peace of mind if you have a business idea or you're in a position where you know that you're not feeling fulfilled, or you know that your core purpose is to start a business and to give back and serve customers. So the first principle is speed. Yes, speed. The power of speed. Do not spend time thinking on the idea. Don't spend time worrying or contemplating, because you just end up procrastinating. Move fast. There's this saying that I die by and live by, and it's fail fast, learn faster. The chances of you failing are very high, especially when starting off for the first time. So my idea is that you're going to fail. So why not fail fast and learn faster? The faster you learn from your failures, the quicker you can pick yourself up and move yourself closer to success. Move yourself closer to a successful business, a big win. So speed. Don't waste any time. Start now. Start now. Doesn't matter what the business is. If you want to be a coach, if you want to be a consultant, if you want to start an agency, if you want to start a SaaS business, start now. So yes, it's all good saying start now. What do I need to do? Give me something more practical, you might be thinking. And the first practical step, in my opinion, is to understand your market. So there's two things. You could be someone that has experience in a certain field, in a certain market. For instance, you're a fitness person. You go to the gym regularly, you're in good shape. So you're experienced, you know the market, you know that space. And now you want to transition into being an online coach. You want to help others now. You already know that market. So for you, it'd be slightly easier. What I would say is talk to people. Try and validate the problem you're trying to solve. Try and validate your offer. Understanding the market could be looking at what's already out there, what's not working, how can you improve, how can you stand out in this space, what can you do differently. And if, for instance, you've got an idea but you're not experienced in that market, then the next principle is to talk to people. Speak to people. The market validates the problem you're trying to solve. Without speaking to people, you're not going to know, and you're not going to get the validation that yes, there is indeed a problem in this space, or I can actually do things differently. And most importantly, people would actually pay for this, because at the end of the day, you want people to pay for your stuff. You're not a charity, you're a business. You want to provide value and in turn receive money, right? In an earlier video, I talked about how we can't really make money. We're not the bank. We can only take money. And money is an exchange. You provide value, you get money in return from your customers in that particular market. So if you're not experienced in the field, but you're passionate about something and you want to solve a problem, the principle would be to speak to people, talk to as much people as possible. And the power in talking to people is that you've got people around you. Everyone is your customer. You've got people around you that are consumers, that pay for things, are using products, that understand, and from a customer point of view, you can gain so much insights to be able to validate what it is you're doing, to be able to move forward and have a clear path of action when executing and implementing your solution. So, moving on. So you've moved fast, you've implemented speed, you've spoken to people, you've understood your market, you're able to now validate your problem. There is a need for the solution. The next step is identifying your customer profile. What does that mean? You've probably heard of the term ICP, or customer avatar. And why is this so important? If you don't understand who your consumers are, who your ideal customers are, who your leads are, it's going to be so hard to be able to actually service them. It's going to be so hard for you to provide a solution to their problems. And the power of understanding your ICP is so strong because you get to be them, envision them, be in their head, in their lives. And there's a system to identifying your ideal customer profile. I can do a video and I can do a deeper dive in a later video on the system I actually take my clients through when identifying their ideal customer profile. And in short, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to create an avatar of our customers. So what does that mean? It means understanding who they are, male, female, age group, demographics, where they're based, what they do for work, what are their pain points, what are their desires, what's their current state. And these are all things that you build when developing your ideal customer profile. And it's very important. It's very, very, very vital in business, because now what it makes easy is that when you're now marketing to your customers, it becomes easier. You know, speaking to your customers becomes easier. Relating to your customers becomes easier. So now your sales calls becomes way more easier. Your marketing becomes way more easier. Your messaging becomes way more easier. Your content becomes way more easier. So that there's power in identifying your ideal customer profile. So now you defined your ICP. The next principle is solving a problem. Taking one person in that market and saying, hey, I've got this proposal. Does it make sense to you? What do you think? Let me know about the problems you're facing. So in turn, you want to be doing market research. So you want to be speaking to customers, getting as much feedback as possible, just to validate that what your solution is indeed the solution that the customers want. And you don't have to spend a lot of time doing this. By all means, I'm not saying spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And it also depends on the nature of your business. If, for instance, you're a coach, you don't really want to spend a lot of time. You know that people struggle with burning fat. You know that people struggle to be disciplined when it comes to their health goals, right? So you can quickly put a post on your story, for instance. Like right now, if you want to start an online fitness business and you're passionate about it and you're regular in the gym and you understand what you're doing, make a post right now. Take action. Make a post on your social media, make a poll, and see who might be interested. See who's facing a problem that you're facing or you've identified, and then take it from there. And that's speed. So don't spend a lot of time speaking to people. Don't spend a lot of time doing market research. And in turn, what you're really doing is just procrastinating. So you've proven that you can solve a problem for your ICP. You've got one client. Maybe you give them a discounted offer just to validate what you're doing, or even do a free trial if you're a service-based business, and then validate, get results, and then use that as your marketing. And you've already done that. The next principle, which is the most important in my opinion in this day and age, is becoming a person of influence. What does that mean? The modern day businessman, the modern day entrepreneur is not someone that can be behind the face of the business or behind the face of the brand. You need to be the brand. You need to be the business. So what does it mean to become a person of influence? I believe that the modern businessman, the modern entrepreneur, can no longer be incognito, can no longer be behind the face of the brand or behind the face of the company. Instead, they are the brand. They are the brand. And I believe becoming a person of influence in any field that you're trying to get to is so important, because there's so much information out there. There's so much information. You've got AI, you've got ChatGPT, you've got YouTube, you've got Google. The accessibility to information, it's so easy. The issue is, the problem is the lack of trust. People buy from people. Simple. If you want to start a business, or if you're starting a business now in 2024, you have to become a person of influence. You have to become the face of a problem you're going to be solving. When people think of fat loss, they have to think about you. When people think about mindset and an agile approach to losing weight, they have to think about you. When people think about systems, they have to think about you. When people think about consulting, when people think about crypto, finance, forex, trading, they have to think about you. How do you do this? How do you easily do this? Creating content. We're in a day and age where, for me to buy from you, I have to check your YouTube, I have to check your Instagram, What is your profile? So back in the day we had business cards. Now the modern day business cards is your social media platforms. So there's a cycle, there's a buy cycle that I can talk about on a later video that talks about before someone buys from you, what do they do? For instance, I'll give you a real life example. Before I take a coach, I have coaches of myself, of my own. And before I work with a coach, first thing is that I'll check their LinkedIn, check their Instagram, I'll check their YouTube. I'll spend a couple of hours watching their content and seeing if I resonate with them and building trust before actually buying and buying their course or bringing them on board to work with them. So it's very, very important that you become a person of influence. So with that being said, I think it's now a perfect opportunity to just dive into what I believe it takes to be successful in business and what the secret is. And it's quite simple, but it's hard. It's simple, but it's hard. And it's perseverance. You have to persevere. You have to stick in. You have to believe, and you have to understand that it's not easy and it's not always going to be sunshines and rainbows. But if you have the mindset and the ability to stick in and grind through the dirt and actually fight through day and night, sweat and toil, sacrifice, you will win. There's no, like, success is not an option. It's definite. You will win if you develop this mindset of perseverance and this attitude of actually sticking in and actually believing in what you're doing and utilizing the principles I mentioned earlier in this video, like speed, speaking to people, fail fast, learn faster. And I'll give you some sub principles around perseverance. And if you're in a position where you've already started a business, or you've tried multiple business and they've not worked, which I've been in that position, and nothing has worked yet. And I mentioned this in later videos, I speak on this quite a lot, and it's two things. The vehicle. The driver is key because you need to be the person that's capable of running and achieving your goals within a business. So if you want to start a new business, or if you started a business, say you are starting a coaching business, a mindset coaching business, you need to identify what the characteristics of a person that can succeed in that business is. What do they do? What's their daily habits? What's their mindset? Who are they around? So I'll not go too much into this, but it's simple. The driver. You need to be able to drive the vehicle from where it is to where you want it to get to. So it's simple as, if you're not that person that's capable of driving the vehicle, your business is not going to succeed. So it's a matter of accountability, it's a matter of sacrifice, and it's a matter of becoming rather than achieving. And then the second thing is the vehicle. Yes, because sometimes the market might not be fit, might not be perfect. You might not understand the market too much, or sometimes it's just the environment, the economy. The ship might have sailed. So it's trying to understand, is it the right time? Who's doing this? How can I be different? How can I establish an edge? And how can I actually differentiate myself from my competitors? And yeah, so of the secret to having a successful business is being able to persevere and being able to understand you're not always going to succeed. In fact, the chances of you succeeding are lower than the chances of you failing. So the chances of you failing are higher than the chances of you succeeding, and being able to persevere and be able to push on is the secret to succeeding in business. So I hope you found this video useful. If you do, drop me a like, leave a comment in the bottom of this video, and please do subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.